Let's be honest, brother. We've all been there. You're going about your day, and suddenly, ping, a message pops up. It's 3 little words. I miss you. And for a second, your heart skips a beat. You start wondering, does she still care? Is there still a chance? But here's the uncomfortable truth. Words are easy. Anyone can say, I miss you, out of boredom, loneliness, or even guilt. It costs nothing, proves nothing, because love isn't spoken, love is shown. Not through grand romantic gestures or movie-style declarations, but in the quiet, consistent, unspoken ways. In how someone chooses you when no one's watching, in how they protect your name when you're not around, in how they stay, even when things get dark. And that's what this video is about today. I'm going to share with you 6 powerful signs, not guesses, not theories, but real, observable signs that a woman truly loves you. Not that she's interested, not that she's stringing you along. I'm talking about deep, quiet, committed love. The kind that doesn't just touch your ego, but anchors your soul. And once you understand these signs, you'll stop falling for surface level affection. You'll stop chasing validation in a message bubble. And instead, you'll begin to recognize what's real. So if you've ever asked yourself, did she mean it? Or how do I know if it's love or just convenience? This video might just change your perspective. Let's dive in. You want to know a quiet, powerful sign that a woman truly loves you. She cares for you without ever being asked. Not because she's trying to impress you, not because she thinks it's her role, but because deep down, your well-being matters to her. You didn't mention you were tired, but she brings you coffee anyway. You didn't text her about your big meeting, but later she asked how it went. You didn't say a word about skipping lunch, but she still checks in. Did you eat today? It's easy to overlook these little things, They're not dramatic. They're not loud, but they're real. And in a world full of noise, real is rare to see. When a woman is emotionally invested in you, she becomes quietly observant. She pays attention to the things you don't say out loud. She wants to see you win, not for her benefit, but because your rise feels like her rise. This isn't about submission. It's about connection. It's a difference between being needed and being chosen. And when she chooses to care not out of duty, but out of love, that's something sacred. Let me ask you this. Have you ever had someone fold your laundry? Not because they had to, but because they just wanted to lighten your load. Or made you soup when you were sick, even when you didn't ask. That's not random. That's not convenience. That's love. So next time you're wondering where you stand with a woman, don't just listen to her words. Watch what she does when no one's watching, because real love whispers in actions, not in texts. You know what's easy? Being sweet to someone when they're standing right in front of you. But you want to know what's real? How someone speaks about you when you're not in the room. That's where love shows up, or doesn't. A woman who truly loves you won't just smile at you in private. She'll defend your name in public. When her friends joke about your quirks, she won't laugh to fit in. When someone throws subtle shade, he's too quiet, or it's kind of intense, she won't nod in agreement just to avoid discomfort. She'll say, don't talk about him like that. Not because she's trying to start drama, but because your name matters to her. That's loyalty. Not the kind that needs praise, not the kind that's performative, but the kind that's instinctual. It's about protecting the one you care about, even when it's inconvenient. Let me ask you something. If a woman can't stand up for you when you're not there, can she really claim to love you when you are? Love isn't just flowers and deep talks. It's being someone's quiet shield. It's standing your ground when others try to tear down the person you believe in. And when a woman chooses discomfort over disloyalty, when she's willing to check her best friend for crossing a line, that's when you know you're not just her boyfriend. You're part of her identity now, so pay close attention, brother, because if she can't protect your name in your absence, she might not deserve a place in your presence. Here's something most men overlook. You think commitment starts with the label when you both sit down and define the relationship. But a woman who truly loves you, she makes that choice long before the conversation ever happens. Watch closely. She stops replying to guys in her DMs. She pulls back from the flirtatious friends she used to text late at night. She turns down that party where she knows her ex might show up. And she's not doing this because you told her to. She's doing it because in her heart, you're already her man. That's emotional exclusivity. It's quiet, intentional, and deeply revealing. You won't see her posting thirst traps for attention. She won't keep you wondering where you stand or play games to keep the power dynamic tilted. Instead, she becomes more private, more grounded, more aligned with something real. It's not about control. It's not about being owned. It's about honor. Okay, let's be real, honor is rare these days. Ask yourself this: does she protect your connection even when it's fragile? Even when it's not yet defined? Because the way she behaves before the title says more than any title ever could. When a woman starts acting like you're hers before the world sees it, before there's a ring, before there's even a label, that's not just affection, that's a decision. And if she's not making that choice on her own, if she still needs the attention, the drama, the options, then maybe she's not ready for the kind of love you're building. Real love doesn't ask for permission to be loyal. It just is. One of the most beautiful signs of real love, it's when a woman doesn't try to change your path. She chooses to walk beside you on it. She doesn't interrupt your purpose. She doesn't pull you away from your dreams. Instead, she leans in, not to take control, but to understand. She starts asking about your goals, not just to make conversation, but because she's genuinely invested. She remembers the name of the book you're reading. She checks in after your late night workout. She learns about your mentors, your habits, even your quiet battles, the ones you don't talk about often. And here's the key: she does all of this without losing herself. She's still her own person. She still pursues her passions, keeps her routines, nurtures her identity, but somehow she finds a rhythm with yours. She becomes the harmony to your melody, not noise, not resistance. In a world that romanticizes chaos, real love is alignment. It's not about sacrificing who you are for someone else. It's about expanding who you are because someone believes in you deeply enough to grow with you. Let me ask you, have you ever met a woman who didn't just support your vision, but made space for it in her life while still honoring her own? That's rare. That's sacred. Okay, that's not a woman looking to escape her life by merging into yours. That's a woman who's building something with you day by day, choice by choice. So if she's moving with you not ahead, not behind, but beside it, she's doing it with grace, with strength, and without losing her fire. ... brother. That's not just love. That's partnership. You want to know if a woman really loves you? Let her see the parts of you that aren't polished. Let her see you when the mask falls off, when you're tired, confused, even ashamed. Most people are drawn to your highlight reel. They love your charm, your confidence, your ambition. But when things fall apart, when your world turns quiet, who stays? The woman who truly loves you doesn't flinch at your darkness. She doesn't run when the sparkle fades. She sits with you in the silence. She holds space for your pain without trying to fix it, without making it about her. She doesn't weaponize your past. She doesn't keep score of your lowest moments just to throw them back at you when things get tough. Instead, she sees those moments as proof that you trust her enough to let her in. Proof that behind the strength, there's a man still learning how to carry his own weight. That man deserves love too. Let me ask, have you ever opened up to someone, only to be met with judgment? That's not love, That's a transaction. But when she listens, not out of pity, but out of presence. When she stays not because she has to, but because something in her refuses to walk away. That's different. Real love doesn't just clap for your victories. It holds your hand when you have nothing left to give. And if you found a woman who can look at your brokenness and still believe in your worth, you hold something sacred, brother. Because anyone can love you at your best, but the one who stays at your worst, that's the one who sees your soul. Let me tell you something that most men don't realize till it's gone. Real love doesn't drift times. It doesn't vanish during hard times or pull away when you're uncertain. When a woman truly loves you, she becomes an anchor, not a weight, not a chain, an anchor. She's the calm in your chaos. It's a still point when everything else is spinning. She's not looking for perfection. She's looking for truth. And when she finds it in you flaws and all she commits, not loudly, not with fireworks, but with consistency. She doesn't leave when you stumble. She doesn't flinch when life gets messy. It's there. It's not because it's easy, but because it's real. Have you ever felt that? The rare presence of someone who doesn't need constant reassurance, who doesn't panic when you're distant, who doesn't test your loyalty with games. She just shows up again and again. You see, love like that can't be forced. It can't be bought. It can only be earned through honesty, through patience, through showing her that your soul is a place worth resting in. And when she decides to rest there, brother, don't take that lightly. Because in a world where people chase excitement and run at the first sign of struggle, a woman who chooses to be your anchor is choosing something far deeper than attraction. She's choosing you, the man behind the ambition, behind the pride, behind the pain. So if you found her, hold her in respect, not with fear, not with control, but with presence. Because she's not here for the thrill. She's here to build. So let me leave you with this. If you recognized even one of these signs in a woman you've known, there's a good chance she did it just like you. She loved you, not the kind of love that shouts from the rooftops, not the kind that floods your inbox with sweet nothings, but the kind that shows up when no one's looking. The kind that's steady, rooted, real dot. And if that kind of woman ever showed up in your life, don't take it for granted. Don't dismiss her because she wasn't loud. Don't overlook her because she didn't play hard to get. Cause the rarest love doesn't come dressed in drama. It comes wrapped in consistency, presence, and quiet loyalty. Here's what I want you to do right now. If you've ever had a woman like that, someone who anchored you, believed in you, stayed with you through the storm, type anchor in the comments. Let it be a symbol, not just of the love you received, but of the love you're now ready to recognize, to respect, and to return. And if you're still searching, stick around, because this channel isn't about quick tricks or emotional games. It's about becoming the kind of man who's ready for real love by learning to think, feel, and move like someone who knows his worth. So, if that speaks to something deep in you, hit that subscribe button. You're not just watching another video, you're building a better foundation for yourself and for the love you won't settle on.